Hello everyone, I'm Silva-Ponte, and today I'm explaining why deontology is a problematic idea. For those who don't know what deontology is an ideology made by Immanuel Kant. What deontology preaches is that there is a certain set of rules that we must follow when it comes to morality. We must always follow these rules, even though they might lead to a bad result. We're not allowed to make any exceptions when it comes to these rules. Because if one person does something bad, then you would expect other people to do that one bad thing. A good example of what that looks like is the one presented by Crash Course. Let's say one day a serial killer goes to Tony Montana's house. He knocks the door and Elvira answers. The serial killer asks her, "Where's Tony so I could kill him?" According to Kant, Elvira is not allowed to lie, even though it might save Tony's life. Because if Elvira lies, then other people should be allowed to lie about anything. Deontology might seem like a reasonable idea because it can help us differentiate between right and wrong, considering that we humans have a hard time trying to figure that shit out for ourselves. Except that the problem with deontology is that blindly following moral rules won't always lead to good results, which can make these moral actions not really that moral because they cause harm. In the case of Elvira, if she told the serial killer where Tony is, the serial killer would go in the house and kill Tony, which would make Elvira's action immoral because he betrayed Tony. Now, you might say, oh, but Elvira can just not lie. There are other alternatives that she can do. Like, for one, she could refuse to answer the question. Except that if she refuses to answer the question, the serial killer will end up killing her. And then he'll probably kill Tony, which not only could cause one death, but it could cause two deaths. And another alternative, Kant might say, is that, oh, Elvira could just persuade the serial killer to not kill Tony. Except that won't work because the serial killer probably will not listen. Instead, he'll just get mad and kill her, so pretty much persuading him would be a waste of time. I understand Kant's reasoning for not making exceptions, because it's good to have rules. In order for us to have a well-functioning society, we must have a set of rules so that way we'll know what to do and what not to do. Except that blindly following rules is just as bad as not having rules, because the rules are not always right. We must know when to follow them and when not to follow them. Now, Kant one time said something that I totally agree with, is that you don't need religion to have morality. Instead, all you need is reason. Except that if you blindly follow what a set of moral rules say, and you're not thinking of the consequences, then at this point you're not using reason anymore, because you're just going with what the rule books say. Which is kind of like religion at this point. But when should we follow moral rules and when we should not follow moral rules? It all depends on the situation. Let's say, for instance, in the case of lying. Lying is something that we all do at least one point in our lives, even though it's best not to lie because it could cause distrust between humans. Let's say one day my parents come to me and say, "Hey, could you feed a dog while we're out working?" And I say, "Sure." Except that I don't feed the dog, and when my parents come home, they ask me if I fed him. I tell them yes, even though I didn't. This is problematic because, for one, my parents think that the dog's already been fed, so they won't feed him, and the dog will go hungry for the rest of the day. And also, this could cause distrust between me and my parents, because if I lied to them once before, how will they ever trust me again? But in the case of Elvira and Tony, Elvira's lie is morally acceptable because she did something good. She tried to save Tony's life. Morality should be less about following rules and more about benefiting other people. For example, in my last video, the reason why murder is wrong is because if one person is allowed to kill someone, then other people will go out and do the exact same thing. However, there is an exception when it comes to killing people. Let's say one day someone comes up to you and attacks you and he tries to kill you. If there's no other alternative, then in that case, it will be okay to kill that person because you're not doing it out of malicious intent. Instead, you're acting out of self-defense. However, if you're going to kill someone just to enjoy their suffering, or you're trying to steal from them, or because they have a belief that's different from yours, then no, killing other people would not be okay. So to wrap it all up, deontology is a problematic idea, because blindly following moral rules can sometimes lead to bad results, which would make these moral rules not moral anymore because they cause actual harm. Being a good, ethical person is about doing what's best for other people. Well, that's all I got for you guys. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know why. And that's the end of the video. Thank you.